Tonight in Business, we continue to look at the out of Usher's 1986-1987 national budget as Paul Busharizi analyzes it further. So the inflation then was at 240%.
Yes. To give you a sense of what 240% inflation is,
Yes.
is that prices were doubling every 3 months. So if you if you think of 3-month cycles in our country, so if you took your kid to school in January and you paid, let's just say, 1,000 shillings, when you brought him back for second time, he was paying 2,000 shillings, and when you brought him back for third time, he was paying 4,000 shillings. So in today's time, if you're 1 million in January, 2 million in second term, 4 million in that's 240% inflation.
Wow. Wow.
Crazy days.
Crazy days indeed. How did we manage? How was this budget funded?
Well, when you read the budget, which has been uploaded on the New Vision website,
yes,
the then Finance Minister, Professor Ponciano Mulema, was actually struggling. He didn't have much data. He was it was kind of compared to well, I don't know about a gamble, but compared to these days budgets, you can see he was struggling. He didn't have much data, but he was expecting that year to collect about 487 billion in taxes for a budget of 1.1 trillion. So you can see he had a gap still to fill of about 600 to 700 billion shillings.
Wow.
And there was nothing. I mean, it was a crazy time, because in that same budget he was announcing that he was going to reduce the corporation tax for companies. The tax companies pay on their profit. From he was going to reduce it from 50% to 40%. Corporation tax right now is 30%. So those days companies used to give government, if they made a profit, half of their profit. You can imagine. It was just a crazy time.
Wow.
You see, the problem with paying too high tax is that people then have a high incentive to dodge taxes. So you can imagine, not only was he asking for a lot of tax, but people are probably not even paying it at all to begin with.
Was it even there to pay?
It probably, well, some people I'm sure are making a profit, but you know, the incentive was more to hide it than to declare it to the government.
Paul, there was an interesting issue of barter trade back then. How did this influence the budgeting process?
Well, I think the barter trade, the challenge was at the time that we didn't have forex to buy certain things. They call them capital goods. So if you wanted to rehabilitate roads, you didn't have the money to buy those heavy equipment and what. So the idea was, why don't we look for countries who can take our produce, which we, especially coffee at the time, which was the only thing which was really being produced in bulk, and sent. So it was a way to help the government in its what they call balance of payment support. You don't have dollars, but you need this stuff. So what can we trade for the dollars? So
the dollars would come in.
Well, that was the plan. It didn't quite work out, but
so they ended up scrapping it.
Well, they tried, and it just didn't work, because on the other hand, you think about there were stories told at the time, like I forget the specific country, but the country wanted to get I think transformers.
Right.
And the country said, okay, fine, we shall give you beans. You shall give you transformers for your beans. The problem was that country wanted only one color of bean, so it would say we want only red beans, or you know those are they purple beans? Those kind of purple beans. We only want those ones for so many tons, and so on. We could never deliver on such things. Partly because even now, our food production is not on a large scale. It's small farmer holdings. You bring it together, then you have beans. But these guys wanted specifics. So that's how we ran into trouble at the time.
Well, Paul, before we wind up, how did it generally perform?
Well, he talks about, we'll probably be talking about, because this is budget for 86-87,
yes,
we'll probably be then talking how did the budget perform in 87, I mean the 87 budget.
Yes.
But he says that the previous year, they had a budget of 514, so he was effectively doubling the budget. He was hoping to double the budget. Sometimes you wonder how this was going to happen. I mean, if we double the budget today, people will be saying, where is the revenue going to come from? But that's what he was hoping to do at the time. And the previous year they collected about 276 billion, so I was hoping to collect 448 billion, again about double. And well, we'll see whether it actually worked or it didn't work in the next episode.
Wow, well, that was very interesting history for me. For more of these analyses and what happened in that budget 1986, 1987, please visit the website www.newvision.co.ug. You'll find more details there. Thank you, Paul, for joining us.
You're welcome.